Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. So we are going to go ahead and add our signatures to our little Lorna Doone books here. If you watched the previous video, I gutted these little books. I reinforced the spines and I added some scrapbook paper over top of the inside covers because they'd been kind of written on, and one of them had some like etchings in it, and I just thought it looked cleaner and neater. So we are going to go ahead and cut the papers that I've chosen, and I have kind of a selection, mostly vintage papers and receipts and things, and then some tea-dyed paper and some scrapbook paper just to put on like the front and in the middle to give it some, you know, structure. So I want to measure, it's about 4 inches. So I want to keep my papers at about 3 3/4, and then by, I don't know, 5 7/8. So I'm going to write this down. 3 3/4 by 5 7/8. So that would make our overall length of paper. That is 6 and then 7 1/2. Is that right? 7 1/2, I think. 3 3/4 plus 3 3/4. So, because 3/4, yeah, yep, I got it. So 7 1/2, I think that's right. Now I feel like a goober because that doesn't seem right at all. I think this was 6. Yeah, that should be right. Let me fold a piece that is like perfect and see what it is. How about that? Because my brain is not functioning. So this is 3 1/2. Yeah, that's right. 7. So because you've got another, yeah, 7 1/2. Okay. Oh my gosh. That was way too painful. Oh my gosh. So sorry. I'm really not dumb. It's just I second guess myself constantly. Okay. So 7 1/2 by 5 7/8 approximately we want our papers to be. So let's start with the scrapbook paper. I'm gonna kind of just put this to the side here, and we'll need to extend this out. All right, so what I've chosen for the fronts of the signatures is just this piece of scrapbook paper, and it's double-sided, and it has just kind of a like lined ledger on the other side, but it's kind of a it's a poem, I think. I don't know. It's about roses and flowers and apples and oranges, and I don't really know, but it doesn't matter. It's a really pretty script, and we're just gonna use it. How about that? So we need this to be 7 1/2. Let's see if we can accomplish that. So 7 1/2, and I probably don't need the 2 pieces. One will probably be enough. So 7 1/2, and then, right? Why does that just still feel very wrong? No, it's right. Okay. And then 5 7/8. So that should work perfectly with this 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. So yay. All right. So 5 7/8. Okay, there we go. So that'll be our outer page. And I'm just going to attempt to fold it in half here and make sure that it actually fits in our book correctly. Yep, I think that's good. All right. All right, and then for the inside, I almost think we could go a little bit bigger. I'm gonna do 7 3/4 and see, just for the outside. We'll go ahead and use this for our outside because I feel like we could just, that would be fine. I think we can do that. So let's see. So 7, and this is Tim Holtz memorandum, I think. 7 3/4. And 5 7/8. Go ahead. I think I'll do this pretty floral on the outside, even though it's technically the back side of the paper. And then let's just double check. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so there's one. And 2. Now these are going to be pretty much identical, but obviously they're not going to be exactly identical because I'm, cutting pages in half. So if you go to buy one, I'll do my best to sort of like show you in the pictures which is which, but for the most part, they're all going to have the same number of pages. They're all going to be the same size, that sort of thing. So, they're very similar. So these are some vintage Uno score sheets. You have a dice game on one side, and then, oh, no, they're both Uno dice. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, so, yep, I am just gonna stack these up as I fold them. These pages came from a stenographer's, reference book, from, I think it was 1949. So anyway, I need to trim these down a bit. So the inside pages, we can do, let's see, we did 7 3/4. We can probably do like here. Is that, well, we'll cut a little off the end. Cut a little off both ends, and then we won't cut too much from one side. Okay. And now it's probably not in half anymore because I'm a goober. That's okay. All right. There we go. I think that'll be okay. And then the height should be fine. Yep. All right, let's fold it in half, or no, let's do this first. Now this side. And then okay. Sorry for the reaching. All right, and then these came out of a pilot's log book from, I think, the 60s. And they should be just fine. Shouldn't have to do anything with those. Okay. And then, all right, these are some railroad time books, I believe. Yep. So we're gonna have to cut these down, but I think they'll be okay. No. Yeah, they probably are fine. Let me just double check. Maybe not. We have to cut those a little bit. All right, so let's just go ahead and trim those here. Just going a little bit, trying to get it straight on the cutter. That is my first dilemma here. Okay. All right. So there's that. And then I wonder if we just cut it in half. Let me see here. 5. Oh, no, you know what? We'll leave it intact. Let's take off. Oh, we still have to, okay, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna cut it here. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I was thinking and I got quiet. Okay, and then these are some sort of game. How do I want to fold that? I think I want to fold it like this. Some sort of game score sheet from a vintage game that I have. And I think, yep, everything should be fine on that. And that's, I like having different height and, you know, just different size of papers. And then this one is from a canasta game, a score sheet. And I'm gonna fold this one this way, or else it'll be really skinny. But I think it still meets our requirements. So it looks like the back side, okay, so you've got plain writing space on the back there too, which is nice. All right, and then these are some really cool 1930s like tax receipts, I believe, some sort of something, but they're like a really cool paper. They're kind of translucent. So let's see here. I think we'll fold it this way. How much am I gonna have to take off there? Not too much. go ahead and let's do this. Okay. And then that makes it, I just have to trim a little bit here. Actually, it's probably fine. And then we fold it in half. That way we can cut our height. Just checking. There's not really much I can do, but I just checking to see how much we're taking off. That's okay. That's not much. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, and then we'll do this one the same. And our height here. Okay, there we go. And then I have a couple of checks here. I think they're from the 60s, but I kind of was hoping that I could maybe not have to cut too much. Maybe we can just let's see. Maybe we can like fold in here so we can keep it intact. Oh, well, I went too far. That's typical. That's okay. All right, let's match it up here as best we can. Okay, that's fine. And then let's try to do this one a little better. And then these are old. Oh, these are from the 50s too. Okay. And these we shouldn't have to do anything with other than fold them in half. Yep, those will be fine. These have the cool like dots, you know, like it has numbers, but they're in dots. So cool. All right, and then these are just a little bit off. So let's see how far off we are. Not very. I might just cut these. I don't think I cut enough. There we go. I love the color of these. They're so bright. Well, not bright, just, I don't know, a fun golden yellow color, I guess, is basically what they are. Alrighty. And then this is the grocer's receipt from 58. So I think, I can't decide what I wanna, I guess we have to cut off. I wanna leave the writing, I think. So, okay. And then let's fold it in half, and then we'll cut it in half. So it is approximately 8.5 inches, so 4 1/4. There we go, and then we have 2 halves. Cool. And then this is an old, from an old ledger binder. So my thought was, let's see how long it is. I thought I could cut it in half. So it's not quite 11, but I'm just gonna cut it at the 5 1/2 mark in one direction, because I think that'll be fine. Yep. And then fold that in half. It's a little bit long. Of course it is. Okay. Okay, there's one. And this one I'm gonna cut. No, it's okay. We'll do it this way. And another from that same binder, so I'm just going to do the same thing. And I think we'll cut beforehand for this one. All right, we are getting down to it here. So let's see, I have just one more. This is a like half sheet ledger, and I think it should be fine. Hoping, yep, it's fine height-wise. And let's see what we need to do width-wise. I think we'll cut it. There, that should be fine. Very cool. And this one, all right, now I'm gonna speed this up because the rest of the papers I have here are just tea dyed and you don't need to watch me cut those. So I'll cut them up and then I will be right back. Okay, so all I'm doing now is putting my pages together. So yeah, I just put them out. You can't see all of them, but I put them out in the order that I want them, in the journals, and then I just put them together into a signature. So I'm gonna speed this up so you don't have to watch, you know, in slow motion, but you'll kind of get an idea of how I do it. Okay, so you'll see that a few of my pages are sticking out here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and trim that even with this here. So yeah, it just happens because, you know, as you add paper, the middle just, you know, is further out. So I'm gonna trim that up, but I'll do that after I put together the next one. So I have this tool by We Are Memory Keepers, and it is in my list of favorite things. If you go to the description box, you'll find a link that'll take you to a Google Drive document, and you can find links to my favorite things. Anyway, so you don't have to press hard. It will just take, you know, a few passes here. Okay, and there we have a perfectly lined up signature. So I'll just do that again and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clip my pages. And I think well, yeah, we'll go ahead and okay. So everything is fairly lined up, and let's go ahead. I think we'll just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch for this. I just want to make sure. It would be nice if I could lay my ruler down. Yes. These things, you know, you do something 1,000 times, you would think that you would like get better at it, but all right, so it's about right there, and I'm just gonna mark, nope, not that, the center here. And then let's do 2 1/4. There, okay. And then I'm gonna do the other one before I clip it. Be smart about it this time. All right, so just trying to eyeball it the best I can. All right, and 2 1/4 on either side. Okay. And I'll do this one separately because I need to ink some of it. I haven't done that yet, so we'll just do this one. All right, now we are putting this in, whoops, yikes, make sure everything's right side up here. We're doing a hidden spine, right? So I need to cut my craft text, and I want it to be, let's see, I just want to make sure. Right, so height-wise, we need to do, okay, yeah, I didn't, okay, that's fine. We're gonna cut 5 3/4, and then I'm gonna make it 3 inches. All right, so 5 3/4 by 3 inches. I think that should be fine. Hold on, let me just make sure that I'm, yeah, okay. All right, so give me 1 second and I'll be right back. All right, and then I'm going to score these so that they will fold up with 1 inch in the middle. So I'll be right back. Okay, so if you can see my score lines there, right? All right, so let's just fold that. And then it should, I'm not gonna glue in the middle, I'm just gonna glue, well, I don't know, maybe I will. Yeah, I think I actually will. But I just wanted to go ahead and like train that to do what I want. Okay, now what I need to do is mark on the back side that isn't gonna show, right? I need to mark my center. Here. Okay, and then we can mark, sorry, let me get the pen cap out of my mouth. We can mark the points on here, that's where we want our signature to go, right? So we need a center and then 2 1/4 on either side. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the other one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my marks made and then I'm gonna go ahead and punch everything. So let me grab my punchy tool and my phone book. So my amazing husband is going to make me a bookbinding cradle. So, I mean, I'll still use something like this to punch, you know, these holes, but I will have something soon, I hope, to set my signatures in, instead of having to use the middle of the phone book, which works just fine. And I've done it this way for 2 years now, but phone books are a bit hard to come by. So this one's got quite a few holes in it. All right, so just hold this here. Okay, hopefully that was fairly straight. All right, you know, close enough. Okay, so now we just need to sew it in here, right? So I'm gonna get some embroidery floss and a needle, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna use this red color, and I'll just probably do one strand here. Oh, I meant to get a needle and I forgot, so let's find a needle that will work, hopefully. This should be fine. All right. And we're just doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So you go in from the center, in the center hole, and then just make sure you leave yourself a tail. You can hold it with your thumb if you want, and then you can either go to the bottom or the top, either way, doesn't matter. And I usually put it through first, and then if you hold your book together or your signature together in sort of the way it was when you poke the hole, it'll make it a bit easier to go all the way through to the center. There we go. Whoops, somehow I got a knot there. That should be fine. All right, and then to the final hole. Okay, and we'll just sort of pull everything out tight a bit, and then you just want to make sure that you don't split your thread. So I do it kind of slowly here, and then I make sure that I hold everything sort of out of the way. And you need about 4 hands to do this, but you know, I don't have 4 hands, so yeah, we'll just do the best we can. And hopefully it will go well. And just, you know, you can kind of look and see how things are going here. I think we're okay. Nope, we're not okay. We're not okay. All right, now we're okay. All right. All right. Now we can take off our clips. And now we want to pull everything nice and snug. I'm sort of a hot mess when it comes to sewing things in, so don't do it my way, do it your own, because you're probably better at it than I am. I struggle a bit. And just make sure everything is nice and tight, and then you can tie your knot. And I just I do a square knot, I think. So you do right over left and then left over right, like that. And I'll probably just one more knot for good measure, like so. And you don't want to pull too tight because you could tear, or you could rip that embroidery floss. There we go. All right, so that is our signature. Just kind of press everything down. So now we can go ahead, make sure we have the book right side up, and we can go ahead and put this in here. Now my craft text is shorter than my signature, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna go ahead and glue the middle. Okay, so now this is when you want to be careful to line everything up properly. Right, and you know, you've got a little bit of time to move things around. Make sure everything is, you know, lined up. Okay, I think okay, and then we're gonna let that dry before we do anything with it. So I'm gonna actually sort of prop this up so it stays open over here. Let me find something, just sit on that, there we go. And then while that is drying, I'll go ahead and I will ink up the pages here, and I'll go ahead and sew it all together and glue it together, and then I'll come back and let's see, I'm not sure, I might do some slight, I'm not sure, I don't think I want to decorate them, but we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. So yeah, I will be back in a few minutes after I have you know, done these few things and sewn together this second signature. All right guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and sort of finished these on my own because quite a few days have passed since I did the first 2 parts of the video. So, I mean, even though this is technically going to go on the end of the second part, it's been a few days, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't, you know, make that video incredibly long. This video, I'm speaking in past and present tenses at the same time. All right, anyway, they are finished and I am in love with them so much that I'm going to keep one for myself. I'm going to keep this one, volume 2. So they are pretty much identical. They're definitely identical in what I did that you did not see me do. So I'm going to set this one aside because this one's for me. I very rarely keep things for myself that I make. So yeah, I've decided to treat myself. All right, so I know we measured these a while back. So they are 6 inches, it is 6 inches tall and just over 4 inches wide. I'm sorry, the dogs are barking at the cats. And the spine is just about an inch. So, and they're just absolutely fabulous. I think these little books are just so cute. I hope I come across more of them in the future. All right, so all I did on the outside was really basically nothing. I added a closure with this gorgeous red, like deep red sari silk that I got from Lois at Victorian Gypsy Girl. And I love it, and I think it goes really well. And all I did was tie it, I ran it through 2 bulldog clips here, you can see, and I just tied a bow. So you don't have to untie it every time. You can just unhook the clips, and you're ready to get inside the journal. So I hadn't tightened that quite enough. There we go. All right, so I'll set that aside. So otherwise, the outside, I left it just the way it was. I didn't even attempt to clean it or anything. I thought it was just gorgeously shabby and wonderful, just the way it is. And yeah, so on the inside, this was the title page from the book. It's the original. And I glued it onto some cardstock, and then I zigzag stitched around the whole thing, and I just made it a tuck spot. And there's nothing tucked in there. I had said I was going to keep this as plain as possible, either for the recipient to decorate on their own, or so that it could be very easily used to write in. So that's what I have done. You could tuck things in there if you want. I definitely wanted to include that because I thought it was just really gorgeous, and it was the only page from the book that had any sort of, you know, decoration or anything. There weren't any other, you know, it was just all writing. So, and then I added some vintage ruffle onto the first page here, and I'll just flip through really quick in case you didn't watch me put it together, so that you can see the pages. It's full of vintage papers and ephemera, and then just some just regular tea-dyed copy paper as well. Some ledger, really neat colored checks and receipts, some game tally sheets, scorecards, I guess is the word I'm looking for. This was a pilot's logbook page. This was a really cool, very like neat crinkly paper, 1935, a receipt. And this came out of a 1949 stenographer's book on how to, you know, a stenographer or shorthand. Now I can't, shorthand, I think. I can't remember now. This was a train time log from the 40s, I believe. A really cool check with that really cool punch, you know, the little circles. I don't know if you can see that. Let me hold it up and I'll show you. See how it's punched in little dots. And in the middle of the signature, I added this really pretty red floral bead. And then I added another strip of that vintage lace. And then you just have the other sides here. So very simple, but I think it's very fun and just full of, you know, just lots of vintage, and even I think there might be some antique stuff in here. I can't remember the age of some of the stuff, but definitely, you know, 40s, 50s, and then, you know, maybe even earlier than that. So yeah, that is it. There she is. And I am absolutely in love with it. This will be listed in my Etsy shop by the time the video is finished uploading, so you can go and check that out. The link is in the description box below, and I will link at the end on those little cards that pop up the first video in case you'd like to watch the first part of how I made this. All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon. I have some happy mail to share. I have some catching up to do, sort of catching up to do on Dee Dee's challenge. I don't even know all the things that I need to do video-wise, but the list is long, and I, you know, only have a few times to do it during the week. When the dogs are either occupied or not here. So I will be taking care of that. So I'll be back soon, and take care till then, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.